Are we live?
Yeah.
All right, I gotta fix my cup.
Oh.
Yeah, now the wind starts. Good evening, everyone. It is Thursday, the 15th. Yes, October 15th. I guessed correctly. So, we have. I've got a couple different things I want to share with you tonight. Pretty excited about tonight, actually. I've got some real. I had a really good conversation with Steve Coyne the other day, and he brought up some really good points, and we had a really good conversation. But before we get to that, first things first, we have another shop that someone sent me just a single picture of his shop, and I know Vicky was talking about, it really doesn't take much room, and this kind of proves it. So he's got a neat little Christmas sign here. In fact, I think that'll be on it. Roy Gilbreth. So you can see it's like an old dresser or something here, and just kind of in the corner of his, I don't know if it's a shed or, yeah, it looks like it's a tough shed or something like that. But that just gives you an idea. It really doesn't take much room to set up. You can take a lot of room doing it, but there are times where, it really doesn't take that much. My little plastic shed that I used to carve up in Oatman wasn't much bigger than that, actually. And I carved a lot of signs out of that place. So you don't need a lot of room. If you've got more room, it's better, but you don't need it. All right, so
let me tell you some of the people that are here.
Okay.
Everybody's saying hi. I want to. Tim Forsick, Ann Murphy, Melinda Spalding, Steve Mathias, Robert Spalding, Thomas Gent, Terry Lambert, Frank, hi Frank, Justin, hi Justin.
We got a nice group.
Matt Marlin, Tim LaFawn, Dave Rossiter from Canada, and Thomas Toten, Jamie McCord, Charlie Wooster, John Hall, Pam Berry, Andy Littleton, Mike Fye, Greg Clark.
Wow. Thanks for joining us,
your
guys.
Sister, Renee,
I know
Pam
there's...
Berry, Dan Yotis, and Dan Ginkle.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I know there's lots of other stuff you could be doing and watching other than silly guy from the desert.
Your ugly mug.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Man, there's a lot of other stuff better than what we're doing. Okay, so moving on with, there's a couple things I want to talk about. But the first was my phone conversation with Steve Coyne. He was telling me he was having a tough time finding cedar. What's so funny?
Terry Lambert says it's all shits and giggles until someone giggles and shits.
So Steve was telling me that he was having a tough time, that cedar wasn't available around him. That it was that there was this cool place that would ship it to him for free. It was like 150 miles away. He's been to this store. It's an amazing store, and they've got beautiful, beautiful lumber. So he had them ship him. And I guess because it was only 150 miles away, he had them ship him some cedar, sight unseen. So he got the cedar in and found that it wasn't quite what he was hoping for. It wasn't bad lumber, but and we had a long conversation. So the first thing that I said to him is, I have made mistakes in the past, not in a long time, but I had made a mistake of buying material without seeing it. And I realized probably about 20 years, I will never do that again. I will never buy lumber for sign making without seeing it, without putting my hands on it. Because until you know what we do with this stuff, you can't, somebody that really knows lumber, that really knows what a beautiful board is. A beautiful board can be a great board for making a cabinet, for making a shelf, for making a table, but it won't be worth a darn for carving a sign. And it may be a gorgeous board, but from a sign carving standpoint, it may be really junk. So he sent me a couple pictures. Let me see here. A couple pictures So here's a picture. Again, it's a beautiful board. And I think he got several boards. I can't remember how many, but he got several boards. It's a beautiful board. And sometimes, you guys know this if you've been doing it very much, you won't even know, even with my experience, sometimes I won't know how it will cut until I actually do it. There are things that I look for that give me the best chance for a good carving board. And this one doesn't look bad, but even a picture won't do it justice from picking it up, from feeling it, from touching it. It just makes all the difference. I just made a decision a long time ago after I got burnt a few times that I won't buy anything that I can't actually look at. Huh?
You all right there?
Yeah, I'm just adjusting my chair. I need to get closer to the table. Anyway, so anyway, that was the first thing. And then he talked about he was carving an eagle. And so this is the board that he was carving. And he was losing some detail in and around this eagle head. And what so the second thing is he was doing this with a carving liner. And he was going about, well, I think this is the one he was talking about. He was telling me, he sent me the pictures afterwards. He said he was going about 3/16 deep with a carving liner. Now, the fact is, the manufacturer, Amana, says you should only go 3/32 deep. That's all that they really recommend, only 3/32. I've gone deeper than that. I've gone 1/8 of an inch. But 3/16 is not only deeper than he needs to go, but remember, the carving liner, and guys, keep this in mind, even if you're tempted to go deeper with a carving liner, it's not the same as the profile bit. The profile bit's got 2 flutes. The carving liner only has 1 flute. So if you're trying to carve something, especially in this particular instance, this was a grainy board, and it has a tendency to chip anyway. And if you're carving 3/16 with a carving liner with only 1 flute, you are really kind of rolling the dice whether you're going to get chipping. If you're using a profile bit, you've got a lot better a better chance of it not chipping out, because that second flute will cut better. If you're going too deep with a carving liner, even if it doesn't break, chances are it's going to, it could start burning. You could lose the tip on it. I've never lost a tip on a carving liner, but I would never push it to 3/16 deep. And especially on a chippy board. So, and then
Frank says you've ruined him. He looks at the end grain before he buys a board.
Yeah. You're welcome, Frank. So, and then the other thing is, if you're carving, okay, so let's take, for instance, if you know. All right, so let me back up. There's sometimes that I won't know that a board is chippy, but within probably the first 30 seconds of carving that board, I'll figure it out whether it's chippy or not. And you guys probably the same way. And remember, when I carve, I pay attention to what's going on around the letter, around the carving that I do. And if I sense that it's a chippy board, then what I make absolutely sure that I do is anything that's outset, I go counterclockwise. Because if you go clockwise, you're liable to chip off stuff. And that's what happened, I think, to Steve in this area. He was losing stuff because he wasn't treating it like it was outset. So, like, for instance, it's easy to understand that these stars are outset, but it's not easy to understand that the middle of this O or the middle of this D is basically outset. If he cuts these inset letters, then anything inside is actually an outset piece. So you have to pay attention and go the opposite way. You have to go counterclockwise around anything that could possibly chip, like the middle of that, even the G, even the E that doesn't have any internal cuts, like an O or a D. I have to make sure that I cut that a certain way. The directional carving videos that I filmed a long time ago, and I really should update those, that I filmed a long time ago, I think will help you guys. But just remember, whether you're carving inset letters or outset letters, there's still going to be pieces that will be, in essence, outset, and anything like that, you need to make sure you're going counterclockwise. Actually, I'm drawing that circle, but you guys are seeing that probably as clockwise. Maybe I have to go opposite. I don't know, with the camera and reverse and all that. But anyway, counterclockwise on anything that's outset if you sense that that board is chippy at all. So, let me see. Yeah, the direct. That was the third point.
He said you raised it to 330 seconds and it worked better.
Who did? Steve did? Oh, Steve's here? Mm-hmm. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that, Steve, because I don't think we've talked since we had that phone conversation. I'm glad to hear that, Steve. That's good. And honestly, that's as deep as you really need to go. You're not going to sand off any more than that. And if it's a fine line, it's not like it's a huge difference in width between going a little bit deeper. So, wow. Somebody is ripping down the road.
Tim Forsick said your lessons on directional carving were valuable.
Thank you, Tim.
Tessa's here.
I'm glad.
Hi, Tessa.
I'm glad that helped, Tim. I'm happy to hear that. Again, I may redo those videos sometime soon because that's, gosh, I think I did those over 5, 6, 7 years ago, long time ago, really early on. Okay, so that is. Yeah, that was really kind of the, I think, if Steve, remind me if I forgot something that we talked about, remind me and I'll talk about it. But those are the notes that I made right after we got off the phone. I really thought that this would be valuable for people.
Thomas Gent said, what did you say a good moisture reading percentage for wood is to be able to carve?
I like less than 12%. Out here in Arizona, I can get it down to 6 most of the time, but I have carved stuff at 10 and 12 and they've been fine. Over 12%, you're really, again, kind of rolling the dice. I don't like anything up over 12%, but I have carved signs that were 12% and they turned out just fine. Okay, one other thing, so this is going to be kind of a quick one. One other thing is I got a message. Gosh, I didn't even write the gentleman's name down. It says, my DeWalt 611 stopped working after 3 months after I bought it. Which really is a surprise to me because I've had these things that I've carved with literally 5-6 days a week, hours at a time, that would last 2 or 3 years, and I really put them through the ringer. But so that really surprised me. So I was trying to think, well, what? Now it could have been that it was just something was wrong when it was made, and it was kind of an aberration. But another thing occurred to me that I haven't gone over in a while. Most routers like this, with a few exceptions, most routers have a flat top, and that's good because it allows you to just set your router down and not have to set it on the base. So that's really good. The bad part about that is I have seen this over and over and over, and Dad taught me this really early on. When you turn that router off, that motor's still turning. And if you guys know, this is the inlet. This is where it pulls air in, and the air comes out here.
Marlon said that was me that sent you that.
Matt. Okay. I couldn't remember. And I think I addressed this in my email back to you, Matt. But remember, this is sucking in air, and then the air is blowing out here. And I've seen this, gosh, over and over and over. Turn off the router, and then automatically somebody sets it down on the bench like that. If there's anything on the bench within a few inches around there, like sawdust, we all have sawdust on it. Well, I have sawdust on my bench. You guys might not. But if there's any sawdust, it pulls that sawdust right up into that motor. And that will cause, damage. And it might not, but it might. But Dad taught me that really early on because he saw me doing that. And he said, No, so anytime I turn off the router, I either set it down this way, but almost always I just instinctively blow off the table or the bench where I'm going to set that router. And when I'm grinding router bits, every one of them I test, and I test them in this router. I literally will, if I'm grinding 10 bits, I'm turning this thing, loading the bits in one at a time, turn it off, turn it on. Immediately, as soon as I turn that router off, I blow off that bench before I set it down. So I don't know if that's what happened to Matt's router or not. That's simply a wild guess on my part. But for you new people, just remember you don't want to be sucking sawdust up into that router top.
All right, you've got some questions.
Okay.
Anna Murphy says temperatures are dropping here, 40 tonight.
Eesh.
How will it affect my pine boards if they get too cold? Will they work?
Gosh, geez, Anna, that's really tough. I think of warping. Warping is caused more by moisture than temperature. So it really depends on the humidity a lot more than it does the temperature. Temperature is not good, but it's really the humidity thing. That's what you have to watch out for. Out here in Arizona, we just don't have that. That's just not an issue for us.
Tessa says, do you tell a customer the price is different with different boards? Like, I'm thinking, I don't know if she means like live edge as compared to a...
If your cost of material is much more on a certain type of board, then yes, then the price would be more. And I might tell somebody, hey, if you want a piece of live edge oak as compared to a piece of cedar, I absolutely would. If they want to know the difference, then I absolutely would say, hey, that costs more. It's more labor intensive. So yeah, I don't see a problem with that. However, one caveat to that is I won't tell them. And you guys know we've talked about this, although I haven't talked about it in a long time. But never tell them if you are charging them square footage wise. I never mention that at all. If I've got two different signs, one out, if I make it out of cedar, it's $100. If I make it out of live edge, poplar, because of the cost of the board, and it might be something harder to carve, I'll tell them $150, whatever. I'm just throwing figures out there, but I won't tell them this will be $25 a square foot, this will be $45 a square foot. Never, never, never tell your customers that it's a price per square foot. Just figure it out on your own and then tell them that price.
Thomas Gent said, using a Craftsman palm router the other day, and it kept slowing down, and then I would wait and it would speed back up. Would that be the bearings? Wow.
I've never used a Craftsman palm router that I can remember. I don't even think they made them back in the day. I've heard that there are routers that will vary on their own because the electronics in there, based on the load, that they will slow down or speed up. So if you're having a router that is slowing down, that sounds like it could be bearings, or it could be, I don't know if it all depends on the electronics in there. If the electronics are causing that thing to slow down, there's any number of different things that could cause that. But it doesn't sound right. I wouldn't like that.
Nancy Peterson says, don't know about the boards warping in the cold, but I sure do warp in the weather.
I shrivel up. Ugh, I hate the cold.
Tessa said, they want a price, but they don't know what kind of board they want. They want to see what I have.
Okay. Well, then that's what I would do, Tessa, is I would send them... what I do is I only have 3 or 4 different kinds of materials that I use. I normally say, do you like a light colored board, or do you want more of a dark colored board? And many times in that, I'll either go redwood, If they want dark, if it's a thick board and I've got to laminate together, or if they want a light board, generally it's going to be pine. But even on the pine, if it turns out I'm going to use a 1x12 pine, then I can make it dark by putting stain on it. So I don't give them too many choices though, because that just throws them into a tizzy. Analysis paralysis. But yeah, I would see what, talk them into what you've got available, what you've got on hand.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's all right.
So Jeff Dale says, so that begs the question, what do you say to a customer that wants a breakdown of the price and how you came to that number? I've gotten that many times. That's my price. That's what it is.
Yeah. So Jeff,
none of your damn business. How I came up with
I tell them based on how much time I know I'm going to have in it, and my material cost. I take all that stuff into account, and that's my calculation. That's how it came out. I don't give them, really minutia details. If it's a complicated sign, and if there's extra artwork, if there's finishing and painting that I know I'm going to have to do, and I give them separate price if they want it unfinished, because there's many times when I've done that where there's no painting. If they want to paint it themselves, I'm adding on an extra $50 if they want me to paint it. So yeah, I don't go into normally don't go into the minutia details on how I calculated the price. The price is the price.
Yeah. Nancy Peterson says, has anyone heard how Bull is doing since he cut his finger? He's working, but he has no feeling in that finger. So
yeah, and the doctors tell him he might not ever get back the feeling in the tip of his finger because he cut the muscle at the joint. At least that's the way I understand it. He cut the muscle there, so he may never get back the feeling in the tip of his finger.
Randy Noble says, Frost on the Pumpkin here in Missouri tonight. Isn't that a song?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, Country Bumpkin.
Country Bumpkin, yeah.
Frost out on the pumpkin.
Yep. Cal Smith.
Love that song.
Cal Smith. One of the best ever.
Who was it? Says
Cal Smith.
Tucker said, go, Vicky. Because I said, tell was in their damn business.
Yep.
Let's see. That's the best answer, Vicky. Frank Jenkins says, do they get a price for all the nuts, bolts, washers, gaskets, etc. from the new car salesman? Good question, Frank. All right.
Well put, Frank. Well put. Okay. Sign carvers of the day. We'll get these done here. So you guys know if I don't get to your questions, email me, eric@makerwoodsign.com.
All right, what's that shadow? I got to move this way just a smidge.
Oh.
Got a kind of a shadow right there.
I'll move this router too, just in case. All right. Stephen From. This one's cool.
He's here.
Stephen From?
Oh, free hugs canceled.
Isn't that cute? I love it.
I'll still give free hugs. I don't care.
I love it. That's really cool. Crap. Bob Hatch, this guy.
Man.
It constantly amazes me. Bob, if you're watching, dude.
How big is that thing?
This is 18 by 38. Bob Hatch is a master. That guy, he is just amazing.
He's been with us forever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, from like really early on. Way over 10 years, maybe 12. But anyway, amazing, Bob. Beautiful, beautiful work. Bob Cowan. So they're kind of small here. The left eagle is pine. I don't know what that was. The right eagle was poplar, and the middle two are cedar fencing. Nice job, Bob. Well done, buddy. Love it. Jeff Dale.
Let's see. I'm sorry. Justin says, what's the temperature out here right now? It's probably, I don't know,
75.
Enough to make me freeze my hoodie off.
It's breezy. The wind's blowing, but it's super comfortable.
You're
70,
comfortable.
75. Jeff Dale. Great job, buddy. That is a beautiful piece of cedar, I think.
I'll tell you what the temperature is.
Gorgeous. Beautiful work, Jeff. Love it. Oh.
Yes, Steven's here.
I need another.
Let's see what's the temperature. Oh my goodness, it's 81.
See, I told you.
I'm cold. I'm sorry.
Well, Richie Potenty, I think. Very first sign, and made this for a friend's dog.
Aww.
Very cool. Great job, Richie. Got his planer in the background there. Great job, buddy.
It's cold.
Keep
man.
up the great work. Tom Annan. Check this one out.
Oh, look at the bird.
3 depths. The bird, the background,
you know
and
I like that.
isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah.
The frame on there?
Uh-huh.
I love it. 3 depths. The bird, the background, and the welcome, all different levels. Use the profile, the 90, and the spiral. Just beautiful. I love that. Almost like a tiki looking
something.
kind of border there. I love it.
John Hall
Great
says I got $300 for charity for my Freedom Eagle sign.
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
John, that's amazing.
Jeff Dale said cedar 1.5 inch thick. Got 7 slabs for $20. Nice.
Jeff Dale?
Hi, Dave Carter. Yeah.
Wow. Jeff, we got to talk about that.
Can you put it down just a little?
Down. Kyle Bingaman. So this is a donation to a family that lost 2 family members.
No, Nancy, I would never, ever, ever, ever. I'm sorry.
18 by 22.
Aww.
Look at that. Amazing work.
What does it say? In loving memory?
In loving memory,
Aw.
yeah. With the numbers on there.
That's
yeah,
cool.
great job. I love the way he staggered the end
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
cool.
I think that looks really cool.
Is
Very
that
well
cedar?
done. Yeah, it looks like cedar to me. Yeah, I didn't say, but
Oh,
it looked like
7-foot slab for $20. Holy crap, that's good.
wow.
Oh, Tessa, look.
Tessa, fight like a girl. She made 13 of these and donated them to the cancer center.
I think she's making another one too. Somebody else wanted one too, right?
Oh,
Tessa?
another donation thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know, Tessa. Great job. You carved like a girl. Good job.
She carves like a girl.
And this is Dave Hoffman for his niece.
I love that name.
Very nice. I like that letter style too. I don't know what it is. Now move it up.
Not that much. There you go.
Wow. And we can get my tape measure out so I know exactly how high
you know
and how
what?
low.
No, but I can just turn
So
this
that's
thing
too
up.
low. That's too high. Okay. Am I right now? Good? Good job, Dave. I'm getting the stink eye.
You're gonna get more.
I'm
than
glad
a
it's
stink eye.
dark because I can't see real well.
Oh, that's cool.
Brad Highwood. So this is his 3rd sign.
Good night, Tim. Have a good dinner.
Good night, Tim. Tim Forsyth.
He's got to go have dinner.
Good night, buddy. Very nice job, Brad. Beautiful cornucopia looking thing there. Just in time for
I just
Thanksgiving.
like that word, cornucopia. Annette Tucker said, "Girls carve damn good. Girl power."
That's right. You go, Annette. You go.
Yeah, that's right. Some of
Annette
the
and
best
Tessa.
carvers that I've
Got
seen.
some
are
amazing
girls.
lady carvers. Yes.
Tup Yarrow.
Tup.
Yeah.
Tup's in Australia, I believe,
Hi,
if
Tup.
I remember right. How are you, Tup? All right. I believe that's it, guys. If you have questions, you know how to get a hold of me.
Oh, Tessa says she's making one for a guy that has breast cancer. That's
Really?
rare, but it's
I've heard that it
rare but
happens.
common. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that it happens more often than you would think.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I had said something. Well, anyway, I've got some stuff that I want to share tomorrow night. Remember, tomorrow night we're over on Facebook, same time.
No, we're on YouTube.
Or excuse me, we're on YouTube. Tonight we're on Facebook.
Yeah.
On YouTube tomorrow night, Dad will be here, and we'll have some announcements.
Thank you, Scott.
We'll have some good stuff for you. So hope you guys can join us. Remember, guys, I'm going to start harping on this a little bit more. Give us some thumbs up. Give us those likes. We need to, trigger that Facebook and and YouTube algorithm. So if you're seeing this on YouTube as a repost, please give us as many likes as you can. We appreciate it, guys. We appreciate you guys. We love you.
Randy Noble says, John Wayne in the fireplace for the rest of the night.
Hey, there's a great way
Justin,
to spend an evening.
You didn't see any of my videos, Justin? He said, how did your table turn out? I haven't seen the video yet. Oh, gosh.
We've had
4 videos,
four, and 4 or 5.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's still in the works, Justin. I just ordered, hopefully, Lord willing, my last 4 gallons of resin
It's
today.
getting heavier as we speak.
Oh my gosh!
I think the floor is
Y'all
going
want to
like
come
this.
and help move it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need some help.
We're going to need a forklift or cherry picker and engine hoist. Yeah. All right, guys, that's it. We're out of here. So we will see you guys tomorrow night over on YouTube. Thank you for all the likes, guys. We love you. We appreciate you. We really, really do. So email me if I can help with anything. I'm here. That's what I do. So have a great night, you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow, Friday, over on YouTube.
Good night, guys.
Goodbye. Good night.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.